Okay, so to increase watch time, we're going to actually talk about a few things in this video. We're going to talk about length and what the appropriate length is, or the best length for a video. We're going to be talking about the intro, like how you start out a video that you can keep people watching longer. And then I'm going to demonstrate and play around with some content hooks and see if Scott here can tell the difference. But you'll come away knowing how to get more watch time on your videos.
So obviously, how long should a YouTube video be is really the main question here. And I know for someone like me, a clinical moron, I think is the term that's employed usually. and literally no resistance. I love that.
I'm going to let you define yourself.
I'm not going to dispute that at all. No, but I mean, you know, I love being here with Be the Hero Nate and adoring at your feet, because you really do understand this stuff, and I don't. I mean, I'm more a viewer than anything. But I've seen YouTube videos that are a minute long, and I've seen ones that are 28 minutes long, and both of them have multi-million viewers. Mm-hmm. Why is that? So, I mean, so our question is, how long should a YouTube video be? Can you actually concretely say it should be this long?
Yes.
Wow.
The reason being, you're going to find exceptions to the rule. Okay, you'll find exceptions of short videos that have succeeded, super long videos that have succeeded, but there is a sweet spot. And
but what makes them exceptions? I guess maybe that's a question for a little later.
Sure.
Because
well, I mean, let's dive in. The sweet spot is 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
10 to 12 minutes is what you should shoot for on every episode, but have that be your average. You know, who knows what the length of this episode will be. I'm aiming for 10 to 12 minutes, but maybe it'll be shorter.
Well, and the way I've started, it's going to be way longer. But what if we don't want that to happen?
We'll get into it.
Okay. Now, why does it matter? Why is that the sweet spot? Does it have something to do with the algorithm? What's going on there?
It's a lot to do with the algorithm. So you really want a lot of watch time. You want people to stay on long, and the algorithm is watching for that. How engaged or how interested are people in this content? And so if you have a longer video and you keep people's attention for that long, that's a key important part.
Yeah.
Then YouTube will promote that. But there are diminishing returns if you get longer and longer and longer. You know,
are the diminishing returns regardless of how compelling your content is? In other words, even if I've got 28 minutes of GoCam snowboarding and jumping over the Grand Canyon, which is really compelling video, is it still a diminishing return if I get to 18 or 20
What I found,
minutes?
I mean, you'll find exceptions. You'll find an hour-long video on YouTube that has good performance and good watch time, but my recommendation is if you really can keep people engaged that long, you'll get more results if you break that up into multiple episodes. I've got a client who he wanted to test the limits on this. He started going 25 minutes on each episode, then 30, then you do 45, even had a 50-minute episode, and we're still filming 20 episodes in a day, so you can imagine how my team was exhausted. Those videos didn't have any higher watch time. He kept his energy up, he kept interesting content, but people just start dropping off. At
about the 10 to 12 minute point, or like you say, is it sort of?
Sometimes you'll have people jump off right at the beginning, the first 30 seconds or so, but that's going to happen on whatever video.
That's really got to boost your self-esteem.
They click on it, and it's not what they were searching for. Right. Some people watch it longer, and so what YouTube tells you is your average. And an average view duration of 7 minutes, 8 minutes, that's great. 9 minutes is awesome. And if you double the length of your video from 12 to 24, but you'll only increase your average view duration by 30 seconds or by a minute, I don't think it's worth it. Does that make sense?
Okay, but so here's the question. If I'm a DIY guy who's trying to do like DIY videos, and I say, okay, hey, today we're going to learn how to change the plastic cover over a turn signal on my car, right? And that really should only take 90 seconds or whatever. Are you suggesting that I stretch out that fairly simple, or do I add more fairly simple projects to that one to make it 10 to 12 minutes?
Great question. There's a couple ways to look at it. One is what is the intent of the video? If your intent is to build an audience, to build a relationship, you've got to have enough time to have conversation with them. You've got to be able to make eye contact and share your opinions and put your personality across. So a new thing that is becoming quite popular, it's still in beta on YouTube, is shorts. You can film a 58-second or less video and have that be a short, but that's really just going to get new viewers to subscribe so they can watch your longer content. But if you really want to build a relationship, you've got to make eye contact with the camera for a certain amount of time, and you can share stories. So maybe you can share a story about your tail light and how it got broken and what happened, and all the drama. I mean, so there's ways of making it longer, but you're right, some content is going to be shorter. Maybe it's, hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix this, plus I'm going to show you how to fix this, and I'm going to show you how to fix this. So let's dive into all three of these things.
And then you could conceivably break those down into shorter videos you were mentioning. Yeah, okay.
Right.
I don't want to take us off the path
a lot of the episodes that we're filming today, we're also going to break them into shorts, whether it's a 15-second short, but you launch them separate. You launch them differently on YouTube.
And that's a relatively new thing right now with YouTube?
Yeah, TikTok.
I mean, it's obviously, I was going to say, it's a TikTok thing.
Right. TikTok is growing really big. It annoys the crap out of me. But YouTube is wanting to compete with it, and they're doing a good job, and they're making a form of like searchable shorts, searchable content, which is right up my alley. So I'm real excited about it.
That's cool. Okay, so I think we're agreed, or at least I've conceded that you know more than I do. No, but it makes sense that a video should be 10 to 12 minutes in length. What do you do to assure that people are actually staying for those 10 to 12 minutes as well?
Yeah. Well, you got to start the video right. So the type of content I make is how-to content. And when people are there looking for your expertise, you want to start the video letting them know that they found what they were searching for, or they're getting what they expect when they click on that thumbnail and title. So typically we'll start out the video and we'll state what the title of the video is, the topic, and why you should watch.
And if I'm not mistaken, that title is specifically worded from research done in your whatever SEO engines and all of that.
So what he's talking about is my leaf strategy. If you haven't mastered my leaf strategy, go watch an episode. We'll link to it right up there, because that's really key if you want your videos to rank instantly on YouTube. But that will be the title.
That is the title, so that right away, not only do they know that this title is about this episode is about what they're looking for, it might actually be the exact same words that they typed in.
Yeah, here we'll use the example, how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. Okay, that's 9 words long. We'll do research, we'll find a title like that, and that would then become the title of your video, and you want to start out the video giving that title saying, hey, welcome back. Today we're talking about how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. We've both used this remedy and it works, so we're excited to share with you how to make it.
Wow.
Something like that.
It's very smooth. You're a professional. Can't be denied. Well, what else do you do? So you got the start. Now what else do you do to keep people there?
Content hooks. I don't know if I made that phrase up, that title up, or have you heard of that before?
I mean, I know what a hook is, and I know what content is, so.
All right, well, I have a demonstration. I picked that title for a reason, how to get rid of strep throat, because I practiced this one.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, he was so smooth. I'm like, man, what are you reading off a prompter over there? What are we? So
let me give you a bad example first. Okay, so bad example, and why I'm saying this is bad is because it won't keep people watching for a long time. They're gonna only watch for a short amount of time and leave. But it's gonna sound okay. But then I'll give you a better example. So here's the bad example. I'll be looking at the camera here.
Okay, right, yeah.
All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, you're gonna need 3 ingredients. You're gonna need some fresh garlic, some raw honey, and some cayenne pepper. And when you mix all those things together and take that, it'll wipe out your strep throat. Okay, so that's my bad example.
That's bad?
That's bad.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so now I'll demonstrate the better example.
Okay.
And hopefully you'll be able to see a difference.
All right, hopefully, after all the rehearsing.
All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, first we're going to be talking about why not antibiotics. And there's some reasons why you might want to consider an alternative. Then we're going to be talking about 3 ingredients. You probably have these ingredients in your kitchen. We're going to be talking about each one and how they're a natural antiviral and a natural antibacterial. Then we're going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to show you how to make it. We'll talk about dosage and whatnot. And then we'll talk about a story about Scott when he was really young. He had a high fever, he had strep throat, and we gave him this remedy and he experienced a side effect that was awful. You're going to want to know about it because you're going to experience that side effect as well. So let's dive right in.
Wow.
Did you notice the difference?
Yeah, it's much more hooky. Because the first one that I thought that you did was, don't give away what the ingredients are, which you did in the bad example.
Yeah.
Because that is a hook. Yeah, there are 3 things that are probably in your kitchen that will help you do this without antibiotics. That was great. Yeah, I like
So
it.
yeah, my goal is to create curiosity and not give away the secrets.
Yeah.
And really to let you know what's coming all along the way. I'm going to do this first, and then I'm going to share that. I'm going to share this, and then I'm going to wrap up with this. So stick around. So you're going to want to watch the whole thing.
And as you know, that's exactly what we did on this video, you'll recall. So that was actually, we did it, and then you showed us what we did, but it just wasn't strep throat. It was how to make a YouTube video longer.
How to increase.
How to increase YouTube watch time. I'll get it.
So now that you've learned this one ingredient, I want to share with you the entire strategy on how you can get great results on YouTube. And so go watch this video next. It's how to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube in a day.